10 Historical Mysteries. The ancient Egyptians kept detailed records of their medical procedures and their beliefs about the human body. What they didn't understand was how the brain worked. Instead, they believed that the heart was the organ of thought and that the brain was just a cooling system for the blood. They also believed that the heart produced a special substance called the ka, which was the person's soul or life force. The ka would leave the body at night while the person was sleeping and travel to a magical land called the Field of Reeds, where it would have adventures and then return each morning to re-enter the body. This belief led them to perform some strange rituals, like placing amulets on the heart to protect it from harm, and mummifying the heart separately from the rest of the body. Number 9. Lost techniques of memory. Greek scholars in Alexandria developed various memory techniques to help them remember long lists of words and numbers. These techniques involve using visual imagery, rhyming, and other tricks to make the information easier to recall. Unfortunately, these techniques were lost to the world when the Library of Alexandria burned down. Even today, scholars debate what the true techniques were and how they worked. Some believe they were simply a form of mnemonics, while others think they may have been more complex and involved some kind of hidden meaning or symbolism. 8. Medieval monks. Medieval monks were known for their visions and voices, which they believed were messages from God. They would spend hours in prayer and meditation, hoping to receive a message from the divine. When they did, they would write them down and share them with other monks. These visions and voices were seen as a way for God to communicate directly with humans and were often used to guide important decisions. However, skeptics at the time argued that the monks were simply making things up or that they were having mental breakdowns due to the stress of their lifestyle. 7. The placebo effect. The placebo effect has been documented for thousands of years. As far back as the ancient Greeks, physicians were aware that sometimes a patient's health would improve simply because they believed they were receiving treatment. In medieval times, monks would use placebos to help heal the sick and wounded. This practice continued into the 17th century when placebos were used to treat everything from headaches to snake bites. It wasn't until the 19th century that the placebo effect was studied scientifically. Number 6. Trepanation. Trepanation, or the drilling of holes into the skull, is one of the oldest forms of brain surgery ever practiced. It was first performed as far back as 6500 BC, with the oldest known example being a Neolithic man whose skull had 12 holes drilled into it. The practice continued throughout history, with the Inca performing trepanation as late as the 15th century. While the procedure was often painful and dangerous, it was believed to be necessary to release evil spirits or cure mental illness. Number 5. Mesmerism. In the early 19th century, a German physician named Franz Mesmer developed a technique known as mesmerism, which he believed could cure a variety of illnesses, including mental disorders. He claimed that there was a special force or magnetism that flowed through the body and that by manipulating this force, he could relieve pain and even cure blindness. While mesmerism was eventually discredited as a medical treatment, it hinted at the hidden powers of the human mind and paved the way for future discoveries in hypnosis and psychology. Number 4. Hypnotic suggestions. Hypnotic suggestions were once used as a way to help solve crimes. In the late 19th century, a Scottish criminologist named John Henry Pepper proposed a system for identifying criminals using hypnosis. He believed that by putting a suspect under hypnosis, they would reveal important information about themselves, such as their occupation and even their fingerprints. While this method was never widely adopted, it shows the early interest in using hypnosis to unlock the secrets of the mind. 3. Sleep incubation. Sleep incubation was a practice used by some ancient civilizations. including the Greeks and Romans, to solve problems or receive guidance from the gods. It involved going to sleep while holding a question or problem in the mind and then waking up with the answer. While there is no scientific evidence to support sleep incubation, it was believed to be an effective way to get answers to difficult questions. Some historians argue that the practice may have been a form of self-hypnosis, while others believe it was simply a coincidence. No, two shared dreams. Early psychologists were baffled by mysterious cases of people who shared the same dream. In 1881, a woman reported having a vivid dream about a house on fire and then later learned that her friend had the exact same dream. This led to a flurry of similar reports, and early psychologists were left scratching their heads trying to come up with an explanation. One theory was that the people were subconsciously picking up on each other's thoughts and feelings, while another was that they were actually communicating telepathically. Number 1. The human mind. The human mind is a powerful thing. Some believe it has the potential for telepathy and extrasensory perception, but these abilities have never been proven to exist. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Be sure to check out my other videos. See you next time. Bye.